After reading dozens of books about reality creation, how reality works, how the laws of the universe are governing us, and do we have any control? This was my main quest, because I was very dissatisfied with the idea that there is some external power that has planted me, it has given me the circumstances, and I'm doomed. This is my fate, and I'm doomed by my fate. I have to follow it, and these predetermined events will lead me to my end result. And this was not, I was not, absolutely not having it. So I started to learn and read about all the people who talk about how reality works. Can we control it? Do we have any control? And what my findings are, for about, I've been applying all these laws for about 2 to 3 years. Nothing is as it seems. This world seems very solidly real and unchangeable, and we seem like we have zero control, but it is not as seems at all. The world changes when you change, and the people around in your life, their behavior will change towards you when you change your behavior towards yourself. I mean, this is the basics of the law of assumption that Neville Goddard talks about, that everybody is you pushed out. I don't want to get into the idea whether others have free will in my world or not. But what I have observed is everybody and their attitude towards me is malleable. It changes. When it changes, how it changes is when I start to see them differently and their relationship with me. I change, they change. A same person who is being hot and cold towards me, is not respecting me and giving me the so-called due love that I deserve, changes and gives me the exact kind of love that I want from them, because I changed my relationship with them internally, because I started to believe that I am worthy of love and I am amazing, and I don't even care about them. I just put the focus on me, and the reality shifts. They start to perceive me differently. They start to feel like this person, there is something about them. Well, that something about them or you is nothing but your internal change. Similarly, when it comes to abundance mentality and attracting wealth into your life, it is exactly the same principle. If you do not allow yourself to have more money and abundance within yourself, if you don't feel worthy of it, it is not going to happen. Because this world, as it's talked about in Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zeland, an amazing book, I recommend everybody to check it out, that this world is a mirror, and if you are waving in the mirror will wave back at you. But if you're frowning, if you're angry, if you're condemning the mirror will condemn you back. So if you are not feeling abundant within, if you are scarce about, if you have scarcity mentality about wealth, if you think that rich people are evil, or money is hard for me, I'm never gonna get a lot of it, the mirror will reflect it back. It will say, yes, you're right. Here, have some more scarcity. Here, have some more of the evil rich people. Here, have some more. Then we get into victim mentality and we start condemning all rich people and this or that. It's a whole bunch of, it's a big rabbit hole that you just dive in and it sucks you in, because the mirror will keep reflecting back at you what you are thinking within. Same is the case when you want to have love. Why is it that people start attracting similar kind of people in their life? They have the same kind of, especially in women, they would complain a lot that I always keep attracting people who would cheat on me, or they are like really bad men, and they would keep on doing the same behavior. Even if the person changes, their behavior does not change. Why is that? Because you are within are holding the image of that woman who gets such certain type of men. I know this can feel very uncomfortable for some, but in my personal experience, I have seen that people are just mirrors. That's Neville gotta say. Leave the other alone and change yourself. Leave the other. Why would he always put the emphasis on changing yourself? Every single reality creation teaching will tell you that, because guess what? If others have control in your life, well, then you are still again a slave, aren't you? That's the whole fate concept, isn't it? That external things have control over you and you are doomed by fate and their behavior. Then you have zero control, isn't it? So reality creation starts with internal control. That's all there is to it. Because that is the only thing that you can truly control. And the mirror will change. The reflection will change. Reflection will never change. You can break the mirror, it will not change. It will punch you back. If you want to break it, it will break you back. It is as simple as that. This is the basic concept of every single reality creation book that I have gone through, which is The Power of Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy, all the books of Neville Goddard, the Kabbalion, the teachings of Hermetics, that all is mind, the universe is mental, it is all mental. The universe is dreaming us, the all, what the Hermetics call the God or the all, is dreaming us. We are kind of in a dream of the all, and it is all a big mental game. This reality is a mental game, and since our mental patterns are completely changeable, malleable, we can think of anything, same as the reality. But the reality takes a little while, because it will not. Imagine if you just think of something and it happens, then this reality will collapse, right? Like, for example, I'm walking on the street and some dude doesn't like me and he's like, I want this guy dead, and I'm dead immediately. This reality will collapse, because if our thoughts will materialize like this instantly, this reality would not exist. This is why the reality changes gradually, slowly. It will only adopt, the mirror will reflect only our solid beliefs. Our solid beliefs. There is some time delay, and this time delay is not really real, but if you understand the concepts of higher dimensions and how, if you get into this rabbit hole of reality creation, you will realize that Neville Goddard also talks about is that there is a fourth dimension, higher dimension, and we are living in a third dimension. But our inner being is dimensionless, formless. It can go anywhere. It's in fourth dimension, fifth, sixth, seventh, all the way up to the ninth dimension, which is all there is, which is God, the all, universe, whatever you want to call it. And the fourth dimension is our timeless self, which can be anywhere at any time. But since three dimension is coming from fourth dimension, whatever change will take place within us will translate from the higher dimensions to the lower dimension in the three-dimensional world. That's why it takes time. And the rationale behind it is, as I told you before, if you don't like somebody and you think they should die and they die, right? And you, whatever you want, you think about it, you get it, that's boring. That's not the point of this life. And it will collapse this system that we call this reality. So, the mirror, but what is the invariably the truth is the mirror will reflect back at you what you perceive yourself to be. And if you do not drastically change yourself, the mirror will not drastically change the reflection. So if you want somebody's love, you have to see yourself getting loved by them. The mirror will reflect it back. If you are financially troubled and you want to change your reflection, start feeling abundant. How do you do that? Imagining, affirming, scripting. Just do not pay attention to any of the scarcity-based mentality. I know it has been instilled within us by our parents, society, everybody. But again, control is within you. If you put the control, if you give them the power, then you're powerless again, right? You're doomed by fate. You are dependent on what they need to change, so you will be happy. That's the worst way to live, because they will never change, because the reflection of the mirror will never reflect back something different than what you are thinking. It will not reflect. It is your slave. The mirror is your slave. It is your reflection. It is not somebody else's. So the mirror will not do something different than what you think and believe. This is why the people who get into a negative loophole, things just start to keep on getting worse for them. Why? Because that lower mentality just it attracts more negative thoughts, more thoughts about other areas of your life, and you just start getting into the loophole of perpetuating all the same. All you have to do is sit back and just relax and let it all be. Stop reacting to it, right? Again, if you are angry at the mirror, you will punch it, it will punch you back. You cannot change the mirror by doing exactly what it wants you to do, right? The reality, the world will not change by force. It will only change when you change the source, which is you. And you change the source by aligning with the reality that you want to live in. And this concept is not in one book, it is in every book. We can talk about the Conversations with God by Neale Donald Walsch. We can talk about the books of Seth. It was an entity channeled by Seth Jane Roberts, basically like Abraham Hicks. And we can talk about personal development books. They all talk about hustling and grinding, but they are also talking about changing your self-image. Okay, Psycho-Cybernetics is another beautiful book. It is not very spiritual, it is more of a psychological book, but it talks about the same thing. People change when they change their internal world, and their outer world absolutely changes. The same person who found himself to be not attractive suddenly starts to feel very attractive and confident, because they change themselves within, and the world reflects it back. The feedback loop will only increase your confidence. You feed something good in the mirror reflects it back. You get happy, you feed it more happy images, it reflects it back, and the feedback loop goes in, and you just start having an amazing life. And the bad life happens the same as well. Something bad happens, you react to it, the mirror reflects it back, you get angry more, it reflects it back, and boom, down you go into the rabbit hole. So understand this one simple concept, and your life will become easier. And I'm speaking from personal experience in a lot of ways, that I have stopped trying to change things outside of me, because it's impossible in a way. Because that's the old concept of that power is outside of you. If it is, then you can't do anything, then you're powerless. But if you start to change yourself, everything will change. Everything, nothing is unchangeable, because again, the universe is mental, all is mind. This is a quote from Kabbalion. All is mind, the universe is mental. So it is all a mental game, it's a mental dance. You dance in front of the mirror will dance back, it will be a happy image. And if you punch the mirror will punch it back. So this concept will change your life. It will make everything easier and happier. So I believe this video was helpful. I know it was very abstract, but I am fascinated by this idea, so I wanted to share with everybody else. Okay, this is it for this video. Until next time, bye.